Pardon an interruption, this is Troy Hill with the Star Chronicles. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So if you're interested in making your own podcast, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
The Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
Just Us Radio presents the Star Chronicles.
How about this, Cowboys?
Yeah! And goal. Elliott into the end zone.
Welcome, Cowboys Nation, to the Star Chronicles Cowboys Podcast, episode 17. I know I sounded very excited at that point, but I'm really not excited about anything right now because the Cowboys lost to the New England Patriots 13-9, and from what I saw in the game, it seemed like we had several opportunities to win the game. I'm joined here with my co-host this evening, Ron, a.k.a. the Starstruck Fan, Lisa, and Kyle. How is everyone doing this evening?
We're here.
Yeah.
We're here. That's about it. We're here.
Okay, well, let's start the discussion with, let's go ahead and let you take a stab at it, Ron. What was your overall thoughts and opinions of the Cowboys' performance against the Patriots?
I said this was a measuring stick. I know many of you all said no, it was not. I also said that this would correct all wrongs of this season if we can pull it off. And I said I didn't think it was going to happen. And I wanted to be completely wrong on all those, and I was not. So I was disappointed that I was right. For however that sounds. So
no, I think I can share the same sentiment as you as far as that goes, Ron.
Yeah.
I mean, we, like I said on this show, we're just fans of the team. I mean, we love the team.
Yeah.
We've had several years invested in buying merchandise,
Yep.
going to games, and it's overall supporting the team. But it's really, really disheartening and concerning for me just to see so many opportunities where we could have done something in this game that pull away and get a win. What's your thoughts, Lisa?
Yeah, it's frustrating to me where you go into every game at a disadvantage simply because of your leadership your head coach. And so you're already fighting an uphill battle. But then the most frustrating part for me was not even that we had opportunities to win, even in spite of the disadvantages we're at going in. But my rational brain is thinking about, with a different coach, that game wouldn't have even been close in our favor. Like, my rational brain is like, we are 1,000% better than them, but they are 3,000% better coached.
Yes, I totally agree. I totally agree with that. I mean, it's obvious that there is a complete difference on how it's kind of like we just sit and watch how a team's supposed to be coached. And we have examples from that from various teams throughout the league. Kyle, what's your thoughts and opinions?
Same. I mean, we know the team has to be perfect. It needs the perfect scenario. I mean, the weather has to be perfect. The sun, the phase of the moon, everything. It has to be perfect. No injuries. It just, everything had to be perfect for them just to win, let alone beat the Patriots. And it just, the weather. They look like they had never, and this is pretty much confirmed, practiced in any kind of elements. It's they spent all week inside practicing, while meanwhile the Patriots they practice all week outside getting ready for this weather. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and it just showed on the field. And then just it was so sloppy and just we even with losing by 4 points, they just the game was there. Just you think better coaching gets them that 4 points. You know what I mean? Like tied at least. You know what I mean? I just how many games has this coach cost the team? He's cost his team at least three games this season. At least.
I totally agree with that. But before we delve into Jason Garrett, because I'm sure that we could probably talk about Jason Garrett all day. Let's take a look at the longest tenured NFL head coaches and what they have accomplished.
Oh, yeah. I was
Now,
just looking at that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to
do it.
Well,
do it.
just close your
out
eyes.
there.
I'm an emotional
Close
cutter.
your eyes and plug your ears, because here it is.
I just sent it to the chat, too, just for those that would like to follow along at home.
Y'all are rude now. Y'all are doing me dirty. I don't want to see all this bad news.
Okay, well, we have the obvious. This is Bill Belichick. He's been coaching since 2000, the New England Patriots. He has 31 playoff wins and 6 Super Bowl titles, which is ridiculous when you look at it in a status or the state of the NFL. You look at 19 seasons and you're getting 6 Super Bowls. That is pretty amazing. Regardless, now you do have the asterisk of cheating and stuff, so we'll throw that in there as well.
Yeah.
So let's go to some other ones. Sean Payton, been a coach since 2006.
You're stabbing me in the heart.
7 playoff wins, 1 Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin, been coach since 2007. Obviously, Pittsburgh Steelers. 8 playoff wins, 1 Super Bowl. John Harbaugh, the Baltimore Ravens, been a coach since 2008. 10 playoff wins, 1 Super Bowl. Let's go with another one. Pete Carroll, 2010. 10 playoff wins, 1 Super Bowl. And then your friend and mine,
He's not my
the
friend.
Southern dandy, Jason Garrett, been a coach since 2010. 2 playoff wins.
God, it's so pathetic.
Wait, but there's got to be another half to that equation. All the other ones had something extra.
1,000 claps.
Yeah, yeah.
I bet it's more like 17 billion.
Yes, but
Is there anything else, Troy? Did you leave off anything? And is that
no.
it?
Surely you missed a statistic.
Any Super Bowl appearances in that tenure there? Any Super Bowl appearances?
No, not in the 2 playoff wins. No.
Any NFC Championship wins?
No.
Any
Because they would
appearances?
have.
No.
Perfect attendance to practice?
Yeah. Divisional round wins?
Well, we did have
none of those either.
Well, we did have Des Bryant on the team for a few years, so yeah, that's not true. You know, he could barely get to practice on time. So
yeah.
So basically, what you're telling me is he's a big fat participation trophy.
Yes, he has a star stuck on his refrigerator somewhere right now as we speak, like a big silver star from Jerry himself.
Yeah.
I mean, and if anything, listeners, which I know there's a lot of people still supportive of Jason Garrett, and they'll sit up there and claim, like, well, he has a winning record and stuff, and he was above 500. Marvin Lewis is above 500 too.
Yeah.
I mean, does that put anything in perspective to you?
I got a better stat for you. I heard on from the Athletic, like the website and podcast Athletic. Do you know what Jason Garrett's win percentage is against teams with a 500 or better winning record? His win percentage is like 367. You know what Bill Belichick's is 670 against teams that yeah. Jason, like, and I've been saying for the longest time, this
sounds like more like an ERA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to explain it. So what that means in lay terms is
that 3-point percentage?
1/3 versus 2/3.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. That's not even counting the loss to the Vikings and the Patriots. That's not even counting. So it's gotta be like, it's probably in the 350s now for Garrett. That's like I said, this team, it is what it is. They beat bad teams and they lose against good teams. That's the Garrett era. That's what it is. It's just
wow.
yeah. 367. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a decent 3-point shooting average in the 90s and 90s NBA basketball.
Yep.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's you're like leading the league in 3-point shots, a percentage if you're doing that.
Yeah.
But
Since you're in the NFL.
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't sound too good in the NFL for anything.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I mean, like you could take his wins loss record and you could skew that any way you want to. You know what I mean? But when it comes to beating good teams, he doesn't routinely do it. He doesn't. So,
Which, in theory, a good team has a good coach, which then equates back to you're behind the 8 ball going in because you're getting out coached. Like, for example, I have a good friend in Houston that he's a diehard Patriots fan, has been his whole life. From out that way, cool, whatever. And we were talking ahead of time, and I said, listen, my offense is infinitely better than yours. And that sounds weird to say because you have Tom Brady. My defense, we'll see. Yeah. But what I do know is I can guarantee you we will get out coached. And ultimately that will be the difference. While I do think if it was just players against players with no scheme involved, no coaching involved, we would beat you. But because of what we're going up against from a coaching deficit standpoint, you will win purely based on that. And he said, I think he was trying to get me to say that the Patriots looked good. He said, y'all looked good. I said, shut up. No, we didn't. And neither did y'all. Like,
it was ugly.
113-9.
Yeah.
Like, it's so frustrating. And it's so just, we're not the ones that always want to point the fingers at the coaches. I'm not saying that Jason Garrett holds 100% of this blame because ultimately, yes, players do have to execute, but all roads lead back to leadership.
Yeah, it's true.
Starts at the top. Yep.
Well, even at the special team standpoint,
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you give up the delay of game. You got you got the kicking team kicking in the wind. You got your returners like hanging back like out by the end zone. It's like it just seems like yes, at one point the players need to know exactly what to do and what they're supposed to be doing, but it's the responsibility of the coach to recognize that they might not be doing it and remind them, right?
I mean, let's
say something.
Who was the guy? Joe Thomas was the guy who got beat in the punt block, right? He was the guy who got. I mean, Slater beat him. That was his man. Joe Thomas missed the entire week of practice with the flu. He didn't practice a single day, and then so all of a sudden you're going to throw him out there on punt protect, and then Bill Belichick didn't he have like 4 guys on special teams make the Pro Bowl last year? Something ridiculous. Like there's some ridiculous stat like that he sends more players to the Pro Bowl on special teams than any team in the league. And you don't think he knows?
Well, Slater's one he's the second. The only people in the Patriots organization that have been there longer than Slater, the one that blocked the kick, are Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
He keeps him around because he's a special team stud. You don't think he knows that this guy? You don't think he knows that Joe Thomas has been out of practice all week? He gets the report the same as we do. You know what I mean? That's stupid on our part to put him out there. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, come on, man, have some better sense than that.
So this goes to say then, since we're on that, because this is something I was going to bring up later in the show, but it sounds like it's a good time to transition it in now. But who takes the first bullet per se? Because anytime a team is heading down, spiraling down like this, somebody usually loses their job first.
I'm honestly, if this hadn't been a short week, I do think Oakland would have been fired on Monday.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I feel like that Jerry and his delusions would have been like, this will pacify the fan base. Just like when they fired the offensive line coach.
Yeah. Somebody always takes it. The assistant coach always takes it first.
Yep.
Before the head coach. There's always got to be an assistant that takes it first. So, I'm thinking that special teams guy missed kicks, the fluke this past Sunday, but we've been seeing no returns for touchdowns in like forever. We got Tavon Austin, we got Tony Pollard. We just can't find a way to get those guys. Incredible.
We haven't blocked a punt in 3 seasons. 2016 was the last time we blocked a punt. The Patriots have 3 this year. This season they have 3. We haven't had one since 2016. Yeah.
Well, and I think this is where the coach, it goes back to coaching too. If you don't believe for 1 second that Belichick knew one of our weakest points was our special teams, then you're crazy. And he exposed that from jump because he knew it was a weakness anyway. Then he knew with the monsoon blizzard sitch that was going on there that was going to exacerbate the problem. He exposed it quick. Yeah. Like, when was the last time you even remember we had a punt blocked? Forever. Like, I was like, I don't remember having a punt blocked in a long time.
Yeah. He exploited it.
He exposed us. He exposed us early.
Yeah, that's what he does.
That's what separates good team from a bad team.
That's coaching right there.
I totally agree. I was really upset for the fact on the defensive side of the ball that we didn't take any chances with blitzing, or it just seemed like we're still like running the same thing that we normally do. You got all that rain, prime opportunity to create turnovers. You know, you don't take that chance. I mean, at the end, I just wonder what's going on in the mind of this coaching staff.
They were running the same thing because, just like Kyle said a few weeks ago, nameless, faceless. Like, it doesn't matter who we're playing. And
obviously the weather doesn't matter neither. The elements.
No, you can't even get a turnover in the rain. You can't get a turnover in bad weather. That says a lot.
Yeah.
When the ball, it feels like a greased up pig. You can't even get, a
strip, anything.
No.
A pick, interception off a tip, nothing.
Forced fumble. I mean, come on. They did it like twice. They almost forced a fumble. Luckily, our guys jumped on it. You know, Cobb got lucky. That ball went right back into his hands.
Oh yeah,
he
got lucky.
Yeah, and I just feel. I know you had Jerry Jones saying, "Oh yes, he's not. Of course, he's not going to fire Garrett. And he's not going to make that coaching decision or do anything like that." But I'm sitting there thinking to myself, at this, what wouldn't be a better time at this particular moment? You know, I mean, I
think the only reason
short week
is it's a short week, and our division is a garbage dumpster fire. So we're still technically, well, not technically.
We are.
That's a fact.
First,
like we're still leading. Right now, if the playoffs started today, we host a playoff game.
Yeah, but
I think that's the only reason he hasn't done it.
Would anybody lose faith if it was announced today that we weren't going to make it to the playoffs? If they announced today that Jason Garrett and Marinelli were both fired today, and we're moving more and Richard into those roles where they're calling those plays, and John Kitten is our new head coach.
I would be
as an interim.
Yeah, does that change anything? Because you're giving them basically an on-field, in-game interview of what they can do, and then you can figure out by the end of the season if they need to be on the team. Because none of us know how much more is actually involved in calling offensive plays. Nobody knows what the involvement of Richard is as far as calling defensive plays. So why don't you just let them loose for the rest of these games? I mean, I don't see with them being in there. I don't think we could be any worse than what we are with them coaching right now at this particular moment. I don't think it puts a hindering on us going to the playoffs. I don't think it does anything.
I'd be more intrigued and more confident with that scenario than trotting out Garrett and Marinelli out there every week. I'd be honest with you because it's something new and something we haven't seen. That's all I want to see at this point because I've seen it all from Garrett. I know what I'm getting. I think other teams know it. They know. I mean, this is you give me John Kitten, Kellen Moore, and what's his face, Richard, and let's roll from there. That I would 100% on board with that.
I'm sitting here quietly, but I'm trying to figure out how did Chris Richard all of a sudden jump Rod Marinelli on the defensive side? Did I miss something on Sunday that? Rod Marinelli needs to be axed and Chris Richard needs to be moved up. I think they're
I'm talking.
Defense overall is so bland and generic.
I'm talking about just like overall evaluation of the year. We've seen several missed tackles, which is sometimes comes to technique. We've seen many plays missed because of bad angling. We've seen plenty of plays where there's initial contact behind the line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden they pop out and run down the field like 10 to 7 yards. So somebody has to take accountability for that.
No turnovers. Let's not forget we haven't had a turnover in 3 weeks, you know?
But that's I mean, the D line's getting in there. Yeah, they're getting that outside run and starting to get to them, but the secondary, I mean, that's Chris Richard, isn't it? Have we gotten an interception this season? Is one?
I'm not a
one?
hundred. I'm not. Yeah. Well, Lewis, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, he did get an interception. He had to fumble too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not 100% sure that Richard has full reign. So I would feel more relaxed as far as an evaluation standpoint to let him loose for these last few games of the season and see what him got. So then, if you do that next season, you don't have to worry about, well, we got to check through these guys and see what we got. You just completely continue pushing that explode button on that box and just blow the rest of it up.
I don't care if they roll out with the whole tribe of Smurfs at this point. Anybody's better than Jason. I mean, I would take anyone.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Wow.
Because just like Kyle said, I know what I'm getting now.
Yeah.
I know I'm basically, I don't know what kind of value from a point standpoint you can put on your deficit in coaching. But I'm going to guess it's anywhere from, I would guess, 3 to 6 points. You're automatically behind the 8 ball purely based on scheme and play calling.
Yes, and that's like I've asked in the group. Again, we're just some average Joe Schmo football fans. Well, I'm not going to say average Joe.
No, we're definitely more than average. And we're doing a podcast here.
I do think we got a level of football IQ amongst all of us. Yeah. I do think that we have good ideas as far as the ball club goes. We never really go off the rail and say anything crazy. I mean, we all do on occasion, here and there.
Yeah.
But why, as a fan sitting at home, we can see all these different things. Like we can see that, okay, we just need to change. We need to change the scheme a little bit. Oh, we can see that. Oh, why don't we just have Tony Pollard and Zeke Elliott out there more often? More often, and why don't you run the play action, or you could do the options and stuff out of that and everything. Why aren't we doing those things? We can see it. It's obvious those things will work. So why aren't we doing them? Why is there a coach that don't see what we see?
Because it's almost like he doesn't want to. He runs such a routine. He is so that if he were to do anything out of the norm, I almost feel like it would, he thinks it would mess with the player's psyche. You know what I mean? Like, they're not grown adults. They couldn't handle something different. You know what I mean? Like, they're grown adults. They can handle a different pace. But Garrett acts like he has to wear the blue shirt every day, the blue pants every day. Hello, how you doing, guys? The same boring. We're gonna practice inside today because it's Tuesday. We're gonna eat chicken on Thursday because it's Thursday. We're gonna have red Gatorade on Friday because it's Friday. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, we're having blue Gatorade on Friday. What's going on? It must be the end of the world. Like, that mentality is it's just so archaic in the way of thinking and just stubborn and just it's not progressive. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you think he does? You think he does this stuff out of spite just because I'm going to prove my way works? No matter
100%, yes, 100%.
Okay, but how long do you have to try before you're like, pretty sure this isn't going to work?
I know.
Ask Jerry. He's been stuck with this guy for 10 years now. You know what I mean?
The last several weeks, we've said this team has had a slow start. That first quarter just not been out for all year. Why haven't we went to and opened up in a hurry up offense more often on that first possession to throw defenses off balance so that we can get? Why have we not seen? If you have seen, we have been slow starting It's just been shocking to me that we have not opened up on our first possession in hurry up.
Because then that would be
No
blue
huddle.
Gatorade on red Gatorade
Exactly.
day, and what would we do?
Yeah. I would
because
feel that we need to score.
Yeah, because
Go
we're
ahead,
still.
Troy.
I'm saying because we're still running the first down of every single game.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that like amazing that we're still running the first play of the beginning of every series, and the beginning of every first game?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why?
Could you imagine if the Cowboys came out with a no huddle on that first possession? What would be said from the box? They would have, looks like the Cowboys have realized, that they've had such a slow start this season that they're
they
trying
score
to
in 6 plays.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Troy Hill with the Star Chronicles Cowboys Talk podcast, sponsored by Anchor, the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place, free, which you can use right from your phone or computer with creation tools that allow you to record and edit to get your show sounding glorious. They'll even distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So what you need to do is download the Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Did I mention it was free?
They come out in that because the defense is going to be like, what in the cornbread hell have they? Well, Jason Garrett must have had a lobotomy.
I would love to see that against Buffalo on Thursday because Buffalo got an aggressive defense.
Man, I got a fear we're getting ready to see Cole Beasley morph into Steve Largent and stuff on Thursday.
Yeah. Yep.
And
I need him to come across the middle one time, and I need Jalen Smith to come at him like he came at Alvin Kamara. I need for there to be a swipe, and I need it to be night.
I thought you was going to say from the Heath sinking missile.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
You know what?
My heart, my inside,
the
my
Heath
stomach.
sinking missile.
Did you just make that up, or did you see that somewhere?
I have not seen that anywhere. The Heath sinking missile.
Look at you. No, I need it to be a bigger body.
Yeah, let's
Jeff
go
Heath
ahead.
is putting them out. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't even know where to even begin.
Yeah, no comment.
Because you just fell right into the trap again of Jeff Heath doing one thing good and then sucked the next 35 snaps.
I thought he played well. I'm going to be devil's advocate, and it may have just been my point of comparison from the prior week where 23. I can't remember his
Thompson.
name now.
Yeah.
Who?
Thompson.
Yeah.
Darren Thompson.
Yeah. He was. That was the best thing that could have ever happened to Jeff Heath, honestly. Like, because even I was like, please, Lord, let Jeff Heath be okay. And I'll give him a lot of credit. Like, I thought he played well Sunday. And frankly, I felt like the defense did enough and did what they had to do to give us a chance to win.
Yes.
This one, I won't put on the defense at all.
I will kind of.
Cheeto still makes me want to rip my eyelids off. But, and even Byron didn't, I feel like Byron got a little bit, backwards and turned around a couple of times and
got beat by a rookie on the touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a really good. That was a
nice throw. That was nice.
Yeah,
it was a great throw, and it
Still
was a good catch
rookie,
too,
though.
for that matter.
Yeah,
he ran a good route.
That's a big boy, though.
Still seems like I don't know what the exact stat is, but I just see like a lot of grabbing on the running backs or whatever, and they're slipping away and still getting 5 or 6 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And
and you'll get killed. You'll get killed on Thanksgiving Day if that's what you do against these running backs.
Yeah, because Steve Largent's coming to town, people, and he got some special sauce.
Well, it's not even about him. Like, their running backs are freaking incredible.
Yeah, it's just,
and their quarterback can run. They have 2 really good running backs and a really good running
Yeah,
quarterback.
not that again. Not that problem.
He can't throw it from here to the end of my bed.
That's never stopped anybody from looking good against us.
Yep.
He's okay. So remember how we struggled stopping
Driscoll?
Jeff Driscoll?
That's exactly what I'm thinking about right now.
Josh Allen is light years better.
Yes,
than
he
Jeff
is.
Driscoll.
Yeah.
Devin Singletary, he's better than most. Well, the tandem between, Devin Singletary and Frank Gore. I mean, and here's the thing. So this is one of the things that I don't understand. And maybe it's because I'm a girl and I've never played football. But the thing that made me, I cannot understand it. And this is not the first game it happened. So the one drive, and I can't remember what quarter it was in. I don't know if it was in the second or the third. Mm-hmm. We finally got some momentum. We were running the ball every single play between, Zeke and Tony Pollard, and it was moving and it was moving, and it was a well-oiled machine. And we started getting some momentum. Suddenly, I don't know what down it was. I feel like it was second, maybe third. I think it was second down. Maybe we had just gotten a first down. Zeke starts motioning to the sideline like he needs to come out. And at this point, we had gotten past midfield, and I think we were like borderline in the red zone. And then he motions to come out.
Yes.
And then it's not like he just comes out for one play and then comes right back in. He didn't come back in the rest of that drive. And I don't understand it. And it's happened more than once. And at the beginning of the season, I thought, well, maybe he's just winded because he hasn't been in training camp or whatever. But we're 11 games. Then now we're 11 games in. And I told somebody today at work, I was like, listen, that also goes back to coaching. Because if I'm Gary Brown or whoever, I hold a sign up and be like, it's going to say on the front of that sign the minute he starts waving is $15 million per year. Mm-hmm. You better stay out. You better suck it up.
Exactly.
Take an asthma inhaler, or if you need to borrow Lisa's inhaler, you call her. You get it. You get some. You are going to stay on that field.
Yeah, but I understand what everyone's point is of that, and I totally agree. But at the same time, this league is not the 90s league or the 80s league or maybe even the 2000s league anymore. This whole notion, about players getting tired and taking care of the player, that's just what happens now.
That's
not
a
crucial point in the game like that.
I guarantee you, when we played Minnesota, Dalvin Cook wasn't asking to come out.
Well, I know that. But you're gonna do.
So you can't tell me that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, but you're gonna do.
Jerry.
But you're gonna do what you're. Looking at the other point, like you mentioned, you're only gonna do what your leadership will allow you to do.
Exactly my point.
Quit
babying them and say, get your whole ass back out there and finish this drive.
Not
when
half
this drive
of it,
is over,
but the whole.
You're going to get the defense is going to be back on the field. They're, okay. If then when the next drive starts, you're still winded. Okay, then take off a few plays. Mm-hmm. Not right now.
Where was he this offseason?
Cabo.
All I heard about is that he was in such great shape. He had such a svelte body and just was running on the beach, the sand, and he's just ready. He's ripped. Where's that guy? What happened to him? Did he come back and fall in line with the Popeyes chicken crave that was going on? I mean, what is happening?
Oh, Lord.
That was 2017.
What happened when he got back here?
I can't really put my finger on it.
They said he was in great shape. They was like, he's ready. He's ripped. Like, they're showing all these pictures of him.
They just gave him $90 million. They're going to
they were showing all these pictures of him out on the beach and just looking slim. And then he come back here and he looks the same to me, and he's running exactly the same he looked on last season.
He might even look slower. He is not burning anybody anymore. Like he doesn't have that gear anymore. Like Pollard looks faster. I mean, if you took the naked eye test, Pollard looks more explosive and he looks faster.
Yes,
and Zeke he's not getting past that second level like he was a couple years ago. He was getting past that second level.
He was getting past it quickly.
He's not doing it anymore. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just not. I don't know if it's a motivation thing. I don't know if it's a physical thing, but it's not there right now. I don't know.
Well, there is a thing again that going in since the loss of the Jets, I still can't tell or see what really motivates this football team.
Yeah,
You know,
who knows?
I don't really see what it inspires them to perform well outside of a coach writing a letter, or talking on a
One game
podcast or an
leads.
interview, saying that we're going to go to Philadelphia, we're going to go to Dallas and win. You know, I mean, it's just it just seems like to me there's some things that are not required for your football team to be motivated or inspired when you're grown ass men.
Yeah.
One game leads is what does it for that. That was one of the points I brought up last week that I mentioned, and I said, you know, when we all were mentioning that we would take a 2-game comfortable lead over the Eagles, and I said that's the main reason why I think we're probably not going to win, is because we would be so comfortable ahead. That would be perfect. I was like, that would be the perfect plan, would be to beat the Patriots, the Eagles lose on Sunday, we'd have a 2-game lead. And I said, because of that, I feel we're not going to win, because we play, they don't play hard unless we're like a game ahead of the Eagles. It's like they don't want to get a couple of games ahead where it's like, you know, we could coast or something. They just
that
love
should be the new T-shirt this year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, every training camp they have a T-shirt slogan: "Finish the fight," this, that, and the other. It should be backs against the wall. That should be the slogan: backs against the wall. Because that's how this team plays. That's the identity of this team. They only play when their backs are against the wall.
Yep.
That's it.
I like that, Kyle. I like that.
But there's no like that step on throat mentality of I've got you down and I'm going to put you away. And it's just like, you know, we're going to let you. I mean, and the thing, this will be the season. This will be one that I feel like at some point, and they'll never admit it in a public forum, the Joneses will look back at this season, the way things have played out, and be like, we wasted so many opportunities because we didn't get rid of Jason Garrett sooner.
They're gonna look back on that, Lisa, right quick, and I'm gonna let you finish on the whole decade. But go ahead.
Yeah, I know.
Right, but specific, totally agree. But the thing about it is, for like this season, and we said it way before the season started. Before the season started, you looked at the schedule and it was like, that's a pretty salty schedule. This was way before the season started. That schedule, it could get a little dicey in December or whatever, based on what we knew of the teams at that point. And I think we talked about it at some point. You're going to have some things, some things are going to have to happen that fall in your favor. Okay. So go back to the beginning. Drew Brees gets hurt week 2. In theory, that's in your favor.
Yes.
Because Teddy Bridgewater, in theory, shouldn't be able to go 5-0 or 4-0 or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's one thing that fell in your favor that you couldn't take advantage of. Okay, cool. Well, Dak's playing, arguably the best football he's ever played.
I know.
That's falling in your favor.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So then you roll into, your schedule that you thought was going to be super hard in December. As it turns out, the Bears are a dumpster fire. The Rams are a bigger dumpster fire than Chicago, and they have no draft picks, and they have $100 million in cap space sucked up by only five players.
Yeah.
Like things are falling in your favor, and the Patriots are horrible on offense.
This was our best opportunity.
Yeah.
And you had everything was falling in your favor, and you could not capitalize it because of your head coach.
Yeah.
That's all that needs to be said.
Don't forget that Jets game, a quarterback coming back from mono out of 5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They said
the first win.
Everything was perfect. The Jets was there. I think we were just coming off a loss, weren't we? And the Jets was supposed to be a bounce back game for us.
Yep.
Yeah,
either way, we were supposed to we're
to
about to play the Jets. Like this just works out perfect. And then it's like, what? We just lost to the Jets.
Yep. I just don't. It's just, let me go ahead and hop into one thing real quick. This is we are talking about coaching, and I know everyone has their particular choice in coaching. I would like to say about the most craziest thing I've seen today on Facebook, or I'll just say social media in general. Someone asked, it was a meme of Michael Irvin, and it stated, should Michael Irvin be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? Now, I can say for all of us that we all love Michael Irvin. He has heart, passion. The guy's motivational. That's a guy you definitely want with you standing on the sidelines and stuff, or going playing football with, or whatever the case may be. But when people post stuff like this, do they have any underlining concept or understanding of how football works, or are they played Madden that many times where they just lost all sense of reality?
That's the problem. Yeah.
I mean, what has Michael Irvin done at any point in his career to make you think that he could be a head football coach of an NFL team?
And not just any team, the Dallas Cowboys. The most valuable franchise in sports and sports. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. But what are you guys' thoughts on that when fans make suggestions like that? Whether it's Tony Romo, Jason Witten, and now, well, I've seen Troy Aikman as well lately, and now we got Michael Irvin in the fold too.
Can I jump in first here? And this is where I want to go. I'm not spending another 10 years developing a head coach that's never coached before. You know, like Jason Garrett. I know Jason Garrett was a quarterback's coach, but Witten has never coached anything. Romo has never coached anything. Michael Irvin has never coached anything. I'm not going to waste another 10 years going through the growing pains that we've seen Garrett. Remember those? I mean, icing the kicker, bad clock management, his first few years. I mean, he's still doing the same dumbass stuff. He's still doing that. That's still him. I'm not spending more time on a guy who's never even been a position coach, let alone a coordinator, coach Dallas Cowboys. Just because it's Tony Romo or Michael Irvin. With all due respect, you know what I mean? No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Why do people come up with crap like that?
I don't get it.
I mean, is it just because of zero knowledge, or they just really think it's that easy, or what?
Desperate.
Yeah, that's
exactly what I was going to say. They just want to change at all. Like I said, I mean, that'd be like me posting who's up for Papa Smurf being the next head coach. Yeah. I mean, like, I just want something different so bad, but I'm more realistic about it, and that I want someone who has experience done it before, leading a team.
Exactly, been a coach at some level, been a coach, you know. That's
and all the base. I don't even know. I don't know if basic maybe has a bad connotation, and I don't necessarily mean it that way. Kinda, but not totally. Yeah. Like the basic fan, all they hear is those. This is our house right now. Michael Irvin and his, rah-rah speeches.
He's older after a while.
And that's all they hear. Yeah. That's all they hear, and that's all they see. And him giving his little sermon that he gave, and, people were catching the Holy Ghost during the pregame.
I'm going to tell my kids he's Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Yes. Yeah, me too, for sure. But they hear that, and they get fired up. And it is inspiring, but it's not. It's leadership, but it's not coaching.
Yeah, is he gonna come up with an offensive scheme for a week for an opponent? Is he gonna be in the film room till 2:00 in the morning watching game film, breaking down this and I mean, like, you're right. It's rah stuff, which is great, but being a
hire him on
as more than that.
Find a real head coach that can hire him on as the special rah coordinator.
Yeah. It's like, it's funny you mentioned the Michael Irvin thing. It's the same thing when they mentioned, did you guys hear this? Deion as a possible candidate for Florida State. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, Deion is a commentator on NFL Network. He's never coached. You're going to make him? Like, your program's already bad enough. You make Deion
he has coached high school.
You're going to set that program.
He has coached high school.
Deion at least has some experience.
He coaches boys in high school.
Okay. Wasn't it one for that defunct school program that he tried to
exactly.
That only lasted it only lasted like a year and a half. And isn't that Kitna's experience right now though?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've coached. I've coached Pee Wee football and stuff. So does that mean can I throw my hat in the ring yet?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying, it's just ridiculous. It's a name, it's a popular name, and we get it. But
that's a recruiting move for Deion, by the way. Not to dwell on too much, but that's a recruiting move.
I get it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
because that's a college is a lot of recruiting. I get that.
Yeah.
So, what is everybody's top coach that they would like on the football team right now?
Anyone but the one we have.
Wow.
Okay, Ron.
Good question. That's a good question. People keep asking me that, and that's a tough question. That's a tough question.
Actually, I do have one. I do have a leader in the clubhouse. He's going to be otherwise obligated till probably February the 5th or 6th. But it is the offensive coordinator for Baltimore, Greg Roman.
I know everyone's like their Lincoln Rileys and the Urban Meyers of the world, but I still keep on telling people, look at Butch Johnson, Chip Kelly, Steve Spurrier. The list goes on and on of head coaches from college that were successful, went to the NFL and didn't do anything. I mean, and Nick Saban's one of those coaches as well.
But you also got to look at the teams that they went to.
Yes, Troy.
Cleveland.
Yes, Troy.
The Dolphins.
Yes, Troy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll when he went to the crappy Patriots. Like.
Yeah. You're talking about Lincoln Riley coming in and inheriting Dak, Zeke, still would have
Lincoln
to do
Riley
something with the
is a
defense.
freaking quarterback whisperer. Yeah. So if you don't believe for one
Amari
second that
Cooper.
Here's a prime example of one that is current that I will tell you is Coach Hottie, Cliff Kingsbury from Texas Tech. What he's doing with little baby, what's his name, from Oklahoma, Kyler Murray. You look at that. He's building that offense around his skill set.
What a concept.
Because Cliff Kingsbury comes from a air raid, wide open, and that's a little bit what Kyler played at OU, but he's still building it around, okay, now Kyler, you still have the same skill set, but you're not the fastest. Your size is a disadvantage. Same way Sean Payton built it around Drew Brees.
Yeah.
They're building around their skill set. They're not asking Kyler to be something that he's not because Cliff is too effing stubborn to run something different.
Why don't they build anything around our skill set? Defensive side of the ball and offensive side of the ball.
Have you met Jason Garrett?
He's a robot.
Are you brand new?
I know, but
no, you don't know, or you wouldn't ask that question. That's red Gatorade on blue Gatorade day.
Oh yeah.
That's a perfect analogy, and I'm going to use it from now until he is terminated.
It's true, though. It's so true. Even the guys in other podcasts, they work with the Cowboys talk about it. He's just, every day he comes in, it's a blue shirt, the same blue shirt every single day.
How we doing, guys?
Charlie Brown.
How we doing, guys? Yeah, every
good to
single
see you.
Day.
Charlie Brown closet.
Yeah.
Or this
same
is,
shirt.
This is what I hear in his press conference. I hear Charlie Brown's teacher in his press conference says, wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Rogers, the same damn sweater and shoes.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just, that's why I said, I'm rooting for, I would pull for Lincoln Riley personally. He's a younger guy. He seems innovative because I think there's a medium, like you can have a young guy coming from college, and it doesn't have to be Chip Kelly. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Chip Kelly flamed out because of his own doing. You know what I mean? He refused to change and adapt to the NFL game. He still thought his
own ego.
Yeah,
his NFL career.
He still thought he was at Oregon. He brought all those Oregon players in. He every single possession, and when teams figured out and stopped him, his defense was in the field for like 40 minutes a game. You know what I mean? Like that was down. Chip Kelly. He was too stubborn, almost like Jason Garrett, except just a different offensive philosophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think a college coach can be in between. You know what I mean? Like Ron was saying, why do we not do hurry up more often? Because I've seen this team march on the field in 2-minute drill pretty successfully. You know what I mean? And they don't do it until they're okay. We're down by 6. It's 2 minutes for halftime. Let's do this now. You know what I mean? Why didn't you turn on the Jets 15 minutes ago in the first quarter? You know what I mean? Like I don't get it. But I think a young, more innovative college coach would do that. I mean, let's be real. He's had 3 Heisman candidates. I mean, 2 Heisman quarterbacks back-to-back years. Jalen Hurts is going to be a candidate. Dak Prescott was a Heisman candidate back in his day. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying he's Lamar Jackson or whatever, but
he was still there. He's still in the talks.
He can utilize his skill set. He should be running more. I hate to say it because I'm not all about the read option, but once every 2 games for 3 yards ain't enough. I mean, that's it's like a joke when they run read option now. Like, oh, one read option play. Oh, way to throw a wrench in the playbook. You know what I mean? You really fooled them there. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and why weren't there designed runs for him? We talked about it last week. That's the one thing obviously they struggle with a little more. Their defense is pretty good though, but the Patriots' one exposure was they struggle with mobile quarterbacks, i.e. Lamar Jackson.
Why do you not?
They struggle with mobile QBs. They struggle with the run.
Yeah, there was no designed quarterback runs. The one that we all saw that he should have run, okay, so I have a question for you guys too. And again, this may go back to me being a girl and not ever playing. Do they have to bless Dak and knight him for him to be able to audible out?
I think he's doing it more this season. I think, at least. I mean, you hear him say kill, kill, kill all the damn time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
But I think they only give him an option to run another play, though. Like, it's not like he gets to come up with his own play. It's like, okay, you're going to run this play, and if you don't like it, you're going to run this play instead.
Yeah, if you don't get the look that you think that, if you don't see this look, then you switch it.
This play.
But then again, people, we still have fans, make posts about every mistake Dak makes, and it says without question he's the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
And
really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get
still
one of those to come on with me, but he hasn't responded since I've told him to put his money where his mouth is.
Yeah. I mean,
well, and he didn't say he's the worst quarterback ever. He thinks that Dak deserves the majority of the blame for Sunday. That's
that's the first I've heard of that. That's ridiculous.
Okay,
That's
because I saw Dak out there, on defense with the missed tackles, giving up 5, taking contact and still giving up 5 to 6 yards.
I saw at least 3 or 4 passes delivered right in the hands of receivers, including the one at the very end of the game that could have been a first down. And it was a tough catch. It was a tough catch. The ball was slippery, I understand. But Dak put it there. You can't say, well, he threw it too short. I mean, it hit him. It went right through his hands, into his chest, down his stomach, right onto the ground.
So like on that 1 3rd and 7 play, the one that we all talked about, that he may not have been able to get 7 yards, but I have a picture of it and I'll share it to the chat. It looks like he could have gotten, if not just the 7, the whole touchdown. Like
he needs to run more.
There was nothing but a 330-pound lineman, and the lineman wasn't even within probably 4 or 5 yards. Dak could have outrun him easily, and I didn't understand. Now I feel like that's on him.
Yeah,
right?
but
does he have that authority to make that decision to just tuck it and run?
But apparently not, because at that point it just seems like all they were trying to do is throw the ball in the end zone when it was clearly a lot easier for them to just try and get that first down and recollect their 4 downs.
Because even if he doesn't get the full 7 to get you the first down, then you've got like 4th and 2. Which with this coaching staff, they'd still probably try to throw it. Oh my Lord. So I saw a statistic. Let me share this with y'all real quick. This is about offensive woes again. We had 3rd and 3 or less 6 times in that game, with arguably a top 5 running back in the league. Yep. How many of those 3rd and 3 or lesses do you think we converted?
Probably none. They converted
0.
Yeah, they converted 2 the whole entire game, right? Or they
0.
Were they 2 for 13?
Yeah. Not only did we not convert them, on all 6 of those 3rd and 3 or lesses, guess how many of those plays were called running plays? 0. I'll speed it up. 0.
Wow.
It's like this team does the exact opposite of what they know they should do. Like they just do.
But we don't pay attention to analytics.
Yeah. God forbid. Yeah.
Well, it plays a part in it. I mean, I know.
No. He said
I mean,
he does not pay attention to in-game analytics, which
then
then further goes back to the lack of in-game adjustments that we've all talked about ad nauseum.
Yeah. I mean, because I know there's people that are like upset that they went for the field goal and didn't go for it, try and score the touchdown. Me personally, from my perspective, I know we discussed it yesterday. I thought there was still ample amount of time where you could sit up there and take that 3 at that point and try and get the ball back and try and get the 7. I mean, because you're still going to need 10 points if you're trying to win by regulation.
You didn't need 12. You didn't need 10 points. You needed 7 at that point to take the lead.
7 to tie.
Oh, yeah.
7 to tie.
No.
No.
Oh, yeah, you were at 6.
Yeah.
Like 4 points, right?
Yeah, so I'm looking at that variable. It's like, well, you can't win anyways. You're still going to go to overtime. So why don't you just take that 3 right now? And,
okay, but at least you have an opportunity. And then even if you don't get it.
Yeah, that's my point, though. If you don't get it.
They're pinned at like the 7-yard line.
True.
That's the closest. Yeah, that was the closest they got to the end zone all game. I mean, for me to think that for me to be like, oh yeah, for them to think they're arrogant enough they can do it again with like 5 minutes to go in the game, like, no, you haven't. You crossed midfield like 4 times the entire game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 4 times.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, but
you
going back
got
to
the 25-yard line twice the entire game.
Yeah, but going back,
I don't know, man. That number 1 defense, you got to take a chance there because that's not gonna happen again.
But I'm saying going analytics again and stuff. This football team is like done found a way to get down that field when it really, really counted and stuff. It seems like
not in that game. He didn't. No, and Jason Garrett flat out said, "I do the listening to in-game analytics is not." We have decided is not the best thing for our team. So it wasn't about analytics. It was about his gut, and he was dead wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, his gut kind of sucks, but
it does.
That I'm telling you that. You even if you tie, I mean, you're still trailing by 1. I think you put yourself almost in a situation to go for 2. Because then the Patriots get the ball back and you stop.
What?
Because now if you think about it, if we go for 2 and we don't get it, we got the ball back. So you got a chance to still kick a field goal.
What are you talking about?
Like when we had the ball, right? And then we did not score. Had we scored, right, that would have given us 12, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Then we could have went
the
for
extra point.
2, right?
Well, you go for the 2 to get 14, but
if we didn't
get
2 and we failed, the Patriots got the ball, and then didn't we get the ball back after that?
Yeah.
But that's a lot of what ifs. That's like saying, okay, well, we should have just not kicked the field. I mean,
that's like an extra what if than what I have. Basically, I'm saying that you need 10 points to win this game before going into regulation. So I'm sitting there thinking, I mean, to me, if I can get my 3 now and know that I still need to score 7 points or whatever to win this game, 2 possessions to at least get 10 points.
But no.
What difference does it matter if I take it now or then?
But the thing is, you were already close to the end zone, so you had a better chance of getting the touchdown then at first.
I agree.
That way, if you
Hands down.
score, it's better to kick I think we had the wind maybe with us. It was still rainy and stuff, but you still had a chance of kicking a field goal. I would rather have to kick a field goal at the end and win than try to score a touchdown.
Absolutely. Even with
but at the end of the game, though, say if you go for it and then you get nothing, yes, you done push them back deep in there, and I understand that point. But you still got to come up with 7 points to tie.
That's okay. I like because here's what it does for your team. It shows them, okay, you have some confidence. I just feel like it throws people off because that's not what when the other team is using analytics on you, it's a straight up ... dash. I mean, they can predict it down to the play almost. And if you go for it there on 4th and 7, okay, I don't care. Like, it's like on the guys on the fan today, we're talking, I don't care if you use the analytics or not, because analytics are just another tool. You get the information and you say, okay, this is what the analytics say, but based on other things that I know, that doesn't hold true here. So I'm going to say then this, okay, but you at least use that tool. That's what John Harbaugh's doing, and look what it's doing for him.
Yeah.
Nobody's gone for it more on 4th down in the league this year than Baltimore.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. You're in New England. You're going against Bill Belichick. Can you really afford to play conservative? You got to just,
No.
because Belichick knows what Garrett is. Do something that would throw Belichick off. Outfox him. You know what I mean? Like, Belichick probably knows you're going to kick a field goal, so he's got his defense ready for that. Just play it safe, keep everything in front of you. But no, Monty's like, okay, we're playing for this touchdown. Like, throw Belichick off. But no, Garrett's Garrett. We're going to kick the field goal.
I honestly don't think we would have scored either way, but it would have probably looked a little better on his behalf. Yeah. I think it would have looked a little better on his behalf. I really didn't have any confidence we were going to score because our red zone offense is garbage. We were playing against the number one defense. Exactly. We couldn't even get 2 points on the Jets at the end of the game. So I didn't have any confidence we were going to score a touchdown in that situation. So when we kicked the field goal, I'm like, we probably weren't going to score anyway.
Yeah.
But all I kept thinking, and after Dak didn't run it on 3rd and 7, I was just like, what? I mean, especially because that whole left side was wide open. And if he would have even gotten 5 of the 7 yards, let's say, and then it was 4th and 2, you still go for it, in my opinion, because you still could you could have gotten a first down without scoring. It would have been 1st and goal on like the 2.
Yeah.
I mean, we would still probably find a way to F that up too, but it's just not. I mean, I could not, because you were in Foxborough, because the conditions were so bad. Just like you said, you still had a shot to beat the Patriots in Foxborough, who were 98-1 with the lead at halftime, and it was in your grasp, and you let it go on some conservative BS play calling.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just still up in the air on that one. What I would, I'm just still. I mean, I understand exactly what you guys are saying, and I appreciate that. But I'm still just looking at you. Still got 2 possessions. You need 2. You need 2 possessions. You need 10 points.
You didn't need 2 possessions. You needed 1 touchdown to tie. Now I get it. If you're down by 10, that's or 9. That's a whole different discussion.
But I'm saying in the point of not going into overtime. I mean, my goal would have been not to go to overtime, win that game in regulation, because I wouldn't want to have been tied.
But how did that work out for you? You still didn't go into overtime because they won in regulation because you were conservative and had no shot.
True. True, but I don't know
you can't play to not go into overtime. Sure, everybody wants to win it in regulation, but you got to get to the end of regulation to have an extended period before you even can worry about what you're going to do in overtime.
True. Yeah,
and
but
then 1 shot is all you need in overtime, because if you happen to,
So does the argument say if everything played out exactly the way you said it was going to play out? Say if they went for it and they scored, it was 13-13.
There's a 100% chance Tom Brady drives right down the field and they kick the field goal and they win 16-13.
100% of a chance.
But I'm telling you right now, from my standpoint, if that scenario played out, I'm pissed off that the defense let them go down and score. Yep. But I feel a lot better about my offense because you put I almost really said a bad word just now, but you put it on the table and you said, you know what? We're going for it right here. And you scored that touchdown and you had some moxie and you tied it up. I feel a lot better today than I do if that's the way it played out. It still sucks because we would lose, but I would feel a lot better about it.
I kind of agree. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can respect it. Like I said, I can respect that.
Yeah.
I just, excuse me. I think there's way more things going on with that game before it even got to that point to begin with. Anyways, to be 100% honest. The tripping calls were trash.
Didn't help at all.
No. I don't understand why we get called for things that are like so rare. I saw somewhere that call has only been called like 6 times, like within the last, I don't even know how many years. So
it's only been one other time this season.
So how do we get called for that twice in one game?
Because coaching, it goes back to coaching this is another, and y'all need to go see if you can, and I'll see if I can find it on Twitter. Jesse Hawley, he's a good follow on Twitter if you don't follow him. He used to play for the Cowboys, he's very good, but
reality TV star player, got one opportunity to be part of the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, is that how he got on the team?
Yeah.
Yeah, First and 10 or whatever the
Okay.
show. I can't
Well,
remember.
anyway,
what
he's
it
a
was
good
called.
follow on Twitter.
First and 10 was that awesome TV show on HBO back in the day.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like, I can't remember what this other show was called.
Well, anyway, he's a really good follow, and because he's been, he played for the Patriots too. He hates Julian Edelman with everything that he has, but he had a really good point, and he did a video about it, talking about how coaching matters. And somebody, it may not have been Belichick, it may not have been Josh McDaniels or whatever, but somebody was in those officials' ears saying, hey, watch for this, watch for this, watch for this. Because Belichick had looked at film enough to say, okay, these are the trends and tendencies, and this is how they move. And because Tyron is so freaking big, if all of those guys, when they just make a simple move, it on the surface level in live game action, it could look like tripping. Obviously, when you replay it, it's a bunch of BS. But somebody was in those referees' ear, because you can't get two calls in one game, A, that are phantom, B, you're in Foxborough. It's somebody, whether it was a player, an assistant coach, equipment manager, whatever, is in somebody's ear saying, hey, watch these guys for tripping. And it was the same official that called both tripping.
Yeah, the
calls.
last time that happened twice in the same game against the same team was 2009, Dallas Cowboys. 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
It was our team.
Since a team got called twice for tripping in the same game. Yep.
Well, and then for the officials, the people that govern or whatever, the officials, to come out yesterday and say, yeah, those were bad calls. Well, so what does that do for me? Unless you're going to let us go back and start the game over from those calls.
Everybody saw that. Nobody needed a call from New York or Mike Pereira or whatever his name was that needs to go pick up his CNI dog after he finished his interview with saying that he didn't believe in it, that he thought it was the right call. Like, really? Okay. I'm glad you're not repping anymore.
And just talking about back to like people trying to recreate these like use type of bad calls, especially with the Des moments and everything like that. If I see somebody else post something about Amari Cooper's attempt to catch that ball, and just like, because it's convenient to edit out like framed shots where it shows where it hit the ground and everything.
Yeah.
Please do yourself a favor and find another team to support and stuff, and get off this like nonsense, because you're just basically an insult to your whole fan base.
Yeah.
Because that's ridiculous. I mean, it wasn't a catch. It's completely obvious. Stop trying to recreate a Des moment.
Yeah, I know. It's so obvious. Yeah.
I mean, it's just really, really ridiculous.
I mean, I even read Amari's lips after when they were asking him as they were standing around. One of the guys looked like they asked him, "Did you catch it, man?" And I could read his lips saying, "I don't know."
And when somebody body language, he wasn't confident in it. Yeah,
somebody said
body language.
Yeah.
If somebody says they don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, is she pregnant for you? I don't know.
Oh man! But we have the Buffalo Bills up here around the corner. Any predictions for the game, or any other outside of Cole Beasley, who's going to probably look like Steve Largent and stuff before the game's over?
Cole Beasley prophesied this moment. He said the Bills were a better team when he left.
I really did say that, didn't he? Wow.
Better training facility also.
He said it was a first-class organization. They're 8-3.
They were talking about it today. They're very similar to the Cowboys. I think they've only beaten one team so far with the winning record.
Yeah,
and that was the Titans. They've only put up 30 points twice. Both those games were against the Dolphins. You know what I mean? So it's like they're very similar to us. You know what I mean?
But you said they're beating a team with a winning record.
One. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so they're a little bit better.
At least they've done.
Yeah.
At least they've done that.
They've done what they're supposed to. That's why they're 8-3. We're 6-5 because we couldn't even beat the teams we should have been beating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. But I said they're very similar in that regard.
So just think about that. What you just said, though, Kyle, because you said they've beaten a team with a with a winning record, and all the rest of the teams they've beaten that they should have beaten. So think about that. If the Cowboys had done the same thing, if we had beaten the Jets, that would have made us what?
7-4.
7-4. Had we beaten one other good team,
Vikings or Vikings
any
or
of them.
Saints. Give me one of those.
Just one of them. What would our record be?
8-3.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. Yeah. But that goes back to being out coached on a lot of occasions. Because I don't know who posted it. I can't remember who it was. I saw something saying that this is like a 9-2 team right now, and they're being coached up and stuff like they're like 5-6 or something.
No, I saw
that.
that. A 9-2 team coached by 2-9 talent. 2-9 coaching staff. Yeah.
So the Bills better than us?
I mean, on paper, yeah, because their record says so.
I think.
But that thing is, doesn't that go back to speak that the fact that if you look at our roster and you look at their roster, you would have to think that we should be where they are and they are where they should be. Where we
roster-wise, player for player.
But the thing is, what's the difference, though? What is the difference?
Here's the difference, and I don't even know who their coach is, and I know it's coaching.
And that's sad.
You know what's funny?
I've been sitting there
thinking Sean McDermott. He came from Philadelphia. He came from the Super Bowl team with the Panthers. He was their defensive coordinator. I wanted him so bad a couple of years ago when Garrett was like meddling and like 8-8. I was like
doing the same thing he does every year.
Yeah, exactly. Because I wanted for once I wanted a defensive coordinator, to be a head coach, and I thought Sean McDermott would be the perfect guy for his team. But no, they stuck with Garrett, so there goes that.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I always think we're gonna win. It's the most
rightfully so. Yeah.
But do you?
I don't. I'll be honest with you.
This past week was the first time I confidently said that we were not going to win. For the first time all season. Normally, when I feel that we're not going to win, I typically say, I give that little pause. I had, without hesitation, I said, we're not going to win. Not in Foxborough, not against Tom Brady. He's lifetime against us. He's a prideful guy. He did not want the Cowboys to beat him, and I figured coaching and all kind of other stuff was going to separate us.
I mean, we've been fooled too many times. When Drew Brees went out and Teddy Bridgewater made his first start in like 4 seasons, I'm like, okay, we got this game. This is us. No, we lost. When lost their stud wide receiver.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah, Adams. Oh,
we got advantage us.
This is us. We got this game. And then, like, when the Vikings have Adam Thielen and the one guy, Linville Joseph on the defensive line.
Yeah.
Oh, we got this game. It's Kirk Cousins. He hasn't beaten us in 3 years. I got let down then. I'm sorry. I'm not, I'm not picking the Cowboys to beat the Buffalo Bills. I'm not. I mean, until I see them with a winning record, I'm not picking them. I can't.
I just dropped down to one knee and stuff. I got to catch my breath.
Sorry, I can't. Until they beat a team with a winning record, I have no faith in them to actually go out and do it.
Whew, God. Oh, Lord.
I know.
Okay.
I hate to say it, but do it. Do it once before I can actually have faith in you to do it again. Do it once. Prove me wrong.
This game reminds me a lot of that Thanksgiving game. I think when we played the Chargers. I think it was a couple of years ago.
And they beat the brakes off of us.
Yep.
That was so embarrassing.
We thought that was going to be one of those high school homecoming games where we picked a team for our game that's like, surely we'll beat the Chargers. Let's pick them.
Keenan Allen had like 200 yards receiving. Oh, my God. That was so bad.
Yeah.
By the third quarter.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't even play the whole fourth quarter.
Oh, Jesus.
Come on, Cowboys. Bring it back. Let's see
if they won, it wouldn't
Super Bowl.
surprise me. If they won, it wouldn't surprise me. But a gun to my head, I'm not picking them. No way.
Yeah,
Super Bowl, Bills, Cowboys.
Under those circumstances, I mean, I definitely wouldn't bet my life on a Cowboys victory right now.
Yeah.
Hey, what happened to Troy? What happened to Troy for the show?
He took the Cowboys.
Yeah, he didn't quite make it. But I'm going to say Cowboys win. Kyle's he needs to see a little something, which is I completely respect that because I'm in the same boat. Ron's kind of wishy-washy on it, which I can totally understand that too. Lisa, what do you think?
I don't want to play.
And she doesn't want to play the game, which is also a way of her already answering what she thinks. So.
No. Here's the thing. It's a difference between, like you talked about, on paper, my super analytical brain wants to say this game should not be close.
Oh, it will.
It shouldn't be,
But
it will be.
that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Looking at it on paper, it should not be close. But
What
I
would make
don't
you think that?
I'm like
Why do you
Kyle,
feel that way, Lisa?
because I look at the talent on both of the rosters.
So the
And
Bills have a defense.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I don't even believe it. Again, it goes back to who they're playing. You know, their schedule's been a little bit hot garbagey like ours, but they've won obviously more of the hot garbage games than we have. So
yeah, they only gave up
about
17 to the Patriots.
But we only gave up 13. How about that?
Yeah. So that's why I think it's going to be a close game.
No doubt. But my heart feels like Kyle does. Like, until you show me something, until this play calling is different for 4 straight quarters, and you're beating
you think
the
Buffalo's going to blow us out?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that. I think it could go
No, I don't think it'll be a blowout. No. I mean, I can see it being like 20-17 or 23-20.
Oh, I thought you were saying it wasn't going to be close.
No. I just don't think. I would not pick the Dallas Cowboys.
Finish, Lisa. Let's let Lisa.
No. That's it. I mean, like, until you show me that it's going to be different, because we're already technically down 4.5 because Jason Garrett's still the head coach. So we're technically giving 4.5 because he's still employed.
Yeah,
so
crazy.
We're
at home on Thanksgiving. Wow.
Okay, so 7.5 we're giving.
That is crazy.
I know, but that's how I feel.
That's how we. Wow.
And y'all know how high strung I am. And I went into Sunday's game against the Patriots. I wasn't nervous at all because I knew.
I know.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, but we're just about out of time. I mean, before we finish the show, I would like to send a shout out to the fine people of France with 36% listenership.
What up, France?
Yeah, what is up, France? We love you guys, and keep supporting the show. We certainly appreciate it. And we're not going to forget about the people in our own country because they're 50 some odd percent. Nice. We got people in Ireland, Puerto Rico, United Kingdom listen to the show as well. Like to wave, I'm waving at you guys right now. And please share the show with friends. And if you're do the IG thing, go ahead and give us a follow at _Chronicles for Instagram. And if you want to have any questions, go ahead and ask us a question. We're more than happy to answer the question on the show. And also a happy Thanksgiving to everybody as well. And that's really all. That's really all.
Thanksgiving.
I mean, that's really all I have. We will be back later in the week after the Cowboy game. We're not going to wait till next week to do the podcast for this next game here on Thursday. So we might be back up again on Thursday or Friday or Saturday, one of the days.
If it goes like it did last Sunday, I'm probably going to have cocktails and we're going to record on Thursday night. I'm just going to tell you right now. Be ready. Well, if I send you the hootie
instant text, feedback,
you just lock and load because it's going to be gold.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, you heard it. You heard it here first, people. You heard it here first.
If that's not a media tease, I don't know what is. If y'all don't know Cocktail Lisa, you should get to know her. She is a blast.
Yes, I'm familiar. Mm-hmm. But you guys got anything else to say to the people?
No, nothing said. Yeah, go ahead.
Please, Cowboys, please. We're begging, and I don't like to beg. Begging is not a good look. Please, just win.
Back against the wall.
It's Thanksgiving for crying out loud. Yep. Just win. It's Thanksgiving, national stage. Come on, Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Beat the Bills. Go Cowboys.
Yep. The same sentiment with everyone else. Go Cowboys. Again, happy Thanksgiving and all. Be safe out there. Make sure that turkey's fully unthawed, y'all, before you try and cook it. You might catch that ringworm or something. Or trichinosis or salmonella. I'm not sure which one. I think I covered them all.
Not trichinosis. Gross.
I don't know. Just make sure
Be careful with those deep fryers.
Make sure your stuff is cooked.
Yeah,
and if
most importantly, don't set your house on fire.
Yeah, if somebody if somebody bring over potato salad and they got raisins in it, just go ahead and give that pan back to Karen and send her back home.
You send Becky back to us.
Send Becky.
No, we can't say Becky because Becky wouldn't do that.
No, Becky wouldn't do that, but Karen might.
Damn Karen. I can't take her anywhere.
Man, at my regular place of employment today, there was a potato salad I was trying to videotape because it just looked bad. And I was gonna say, look at Karen up to her antics again. It was too many people. I swear, these were just like potatoes. They were like mashed, or they didn't have they were just like, but the skins is like chopped into 4 pieces and just they drizzle some mayonnaise over the top of it, and that was like it.
Wow.
It was like olive oil, mayonnaise, and like sectioned off potato parts.
Oh no, we just went off the rails about sectioned off potato parts.
Hopefully she's not listening.
I hope not.
What up, Karen?
But with that, we'll check you guys later this week after the Bills game. You guys take care.